This one is for the creatives who feel like they're stuck. When the world seems uninspiring and excitement is gone. Don't worry, it's all part of the journey. This is just a detour. Recently, I've felt like it's just been impossible for me to create. My camera's just been sitting on the shelf collecting dust, and even when I do take it out, I don't really feel excited or inspired. Maybe that's just the weather. It's either snowing here, raining, or just cold in the winter. I also took a bit of an extended break. All of that kind of coupled together, it just feels like I can't even get started with photography. I haven't been doing street photography for very long, and I'm still trying to figure out how I like to tell stories. What I imagine my images to look like isn't necessarily what I capture. And that disconnect is what causes a lot of frustration. In the last few months, I've kind of shifted the way I've thought about it. That's helped me actually go out there and not be as judgmental. That's really what I want to share with you today. And struggling with this over the last few months, I've come up with a bit of a process that's worked for me. I like to call it reframe, reflect, and rediscover. The first part of this for me was really a mental exercise, something I did before I even picked up the camera. It was really about resetting my own expectations for the work I create. I had an internal dialogue about why I create images and why I felt like they weren't good enough. It really came down to my use of social media. I was basically constantly comparing my own photos to other people's work. Most often, these were people who had decades of experience. I realized I was being unfair to myself by comparing my work to theirs. Listening to those same photographers that make such good work talk about how they struggled with the same things really helped me put it into perspective. And not only that, it made me look forward to going out there and capturing moments. So yeah, it's really just about being kinder to yourself. Now, once I freed myself up from the pressure of my own expectations, I was more open to inspiration. One of my favorite ways to be inspired are photo books. Photo books are such a good way to see into another photographer's perspective and just get a glimpse into their world and how they see it. This is really one of my favorite ways to experience photography, especially when photo books are coupled with like a story from the photographer or a story about their life from someone who knew them. Words and images together create such a powerful effect that just photographs alone don't have. The rediscovery process for me was really twofold. The first thing that happened was that I got a new camera. I had to relearn how to use the camera. New gear like that can unlock some new technical abilities that you just weren't able to do before. As long as you're not overly reliant on it, new gear has been a good way to see things in a different perspective and to tweak and change things to maybe make myself more creative or unlock a creative idea that I just wouldn't have been able to otherwise. The other side of this for me was traveling. And traveling is such a powerful way to change your perspective. It lets you see the world in a whole new way because everything that you're seeing looks brand new and it gets you excited and really gets you to try to photograph things in a completely new way. All that stimulus just tends to spark more creativity. With traveling, you kind of shed some of your old habits that you've developed if you've been photographing the same area over and over again. Doesn't mean you have to travel across a continent. Maybe you could go to a block in your city that you've never been to. You never know what you're going to find out there. That's really been my recent journey into learning to enjoy street photography again and just really getting over being uninspired. This YouTube channel is something that actually came out of that process. I really like combining like video and photography to tell stories. I find that's like a lot of fun. Hopefully the things that I talked about help you. And if they do, like this video. If you feel like you've done or tried something different that has helped you, drop it in the comments. Ultimately, it's a process of trial and error. This has just been what worked for me. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.